sheep of my family. Lost and confused and I couldn't see. Now I'm asking you to forgive me for all the things that I done. Don't hold it against me. I was just a black sheep of my family. Lost and confused and I couldn't see. Now I'm asking you to forgive me for all the things that I done. I had to do that little hook real quick. That's a song actually that I wrote in prison. Family, good rising, good rising. Black Feniks checking in. Right now I'm inside of mama's house, and I wanted to come to you and talk to you about me being the black sheep of my family. Literally the black sheep of my family. And when I talk about my family, I talk about my immediate family and also my family. I have 3 kids, but my middle daughter isn't in there, but I am the darkest one of my kids, of all of my kids. And not just being dark skinned, have anything to do with being a black sheep. Sometimes it just means that it's the one who's actually was, pushed to the side some. I remember growing up, I always thought I had a disadvantaged family. Like, I grew up in the rural South in McGee and Arkansas City. And you can always tell the families that was doing a little better than others. Some family didn't even want you to like to talk to a certain. I don't talk to them. It was different family, and I could literally tell how, my skin complexion, me being a little darker than some of my friends. I seen. I witnessed the favoritism. Like I witnessed people treat me different than they did some of my other friends who was, either. Lighter than me or knew their family was more fortunate. And sometimes people will treat kids different because they'll try to get in with the family or they try to, hook relationships up, like, well, we want to have my daughter date this guy because their family is doing something. So we know his daddy going to raise a good son and that'll be a good husband for our daughter. You know what I mean? Like they think like that. So when they see someone that, maybe be a little trouble, ain't got no guidance, they look like, nah, you don't talk to him. You know what I mean? He's probably bad news, you know what I mean? So I was told to a lot of females and even friends that that I enjoyed to, hang out with, from their parents that they was like, no, don't hang out with him. Like I was just, taboo or something. But, I grew up on the other side. So sometimes it wasn't that I was bad, family. It was just I had the opportunity where I didn't have no guide. So I just enjoyed being free and doing certain things, making things, being creative. I was always outspoken. And I remember, growing up, going to school where, I used to think, family, like this is no lie. I got to be honest with you when I share this because I'm gonna be honest. I never shared this, but I remember one time going to school, like I was young, and I remember thinking, like, I remember feeling as a child, like as I wasn't a teenager yet, because I remember this particular moment, but I literally felt like my skin was holding me back, like people didn't really like me, or they wouldn't want me around due to either my skin or due to um, my parents. You know what I mean? Like they know your dad are doing something, or you don't want to be hooked up with that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just kind of felt like I was standoffish in a way. You know what I'm saying? From certain people. And when you growing up, those type of things do things to kids. You might not realize it at the moment, but it does affect kids. It does affect the way that they socialize and talk to different people. And I think about it now, family, and I'm like, man, I didn't realize how much it affected me. And today, what's so ironic, family? Let me hit this in, make sure I lock these messages if anybody click in. What's so ironic, family, that I have a son now, so I had to put that picture of my daughter. That's my oldest daughter and my youngest son. I have a son now who is actually very lighter than me, as you can see. And for me to see myself, because he looked like me, but to me to be alive and actually see myself as another person through him, it's amazing. It's like being able to see the light-skinned version of me. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to always say, I said, if Obama was a real dark skinned brother, I don't think they would let him in the office. But by him being mixed, by him being a little lighter, you know, he was able to um, cross over to both sides, so to speak, because he had both sides in him. And regardless of what we might want to protest and say about the situation, truth is what truth is, you know. And I look at my son like that, the Obama of my family, you know what I mean? The one that could actually bring together, you know, everybody, like a peace child, you know. And to be able to see him, you know, in a version where when I was growing up, I remember where, you know, like I say, you know, the darker kid, you know, I don't know, it's just what it was. It was where I was anyway, in the rural South, from Arkansas City, McGee. You know what I mean? I experienced that type of, I felt that way. Now, when I was in Denver, I didn't feel that way when I was going to school there. But in the South, it was like a distinguished, you know, maybe because of the way that they did the slavery. And they had that, you know, they had the field, they had those in the field, and you had the ones in the house, and they was, you know, separating people by their skin tones and stuff like that to make them feel like, oh, well, you a little better if you in the house, because 9 to 10, that's probably one of his daughters, you know what I mean? And I'm from that era, family, like literally the cotton field where folks didn't really have nothing. Everybody was getting by, doing what they could with what they had, you know what I mean? So knowing that now, I can see why things was the way it was. I can see why certain girls growing up when I was in, you know, elementary, you know, they families like, shh, no, don't talk to them. And I see why, you know, now being grown, you know, we friends and we speak or whatever, you know what I mean? And I see like, wow, you know, it was always that um, that separation, you know what I mean? But now I see it though, being older. But I was the black sheep of the family, or am the black sheep of my family, and I'm at peace with it now, you know what I mean? But I know I'm different, you know what I mean? The time made me different, the things I endured, all the stuff I had to put up with, you know what I mean? Going through that prison situation, things that make you different. And you know what? And if you're not careful, bitterness, you know, going through a situation can turn into bitterness, and bitterness can really root into some physical and mental and financial situations that can cause you some harm. You know what I mean? So we have to be careful with that. But you know, knowing, you know, it is a reality that you might not um, have the same advantages of others. So you have to hustle harder. You have to um, use what you got to stand out. And I think that's what makes me unique now to people. I done had people tell me, man, I like your drive. I love how you always looking for opportunities. You know, you're willing to help. You're willing to do what it takes. You know, you don't take no for an answer. And I think that was because being a black sheep, I had to create a way to survive. You know what I mean? I had to create a way to make me stand out for, not for a person to look at me, not for what I look like, but for what I can accomplish, the things I can do that might make me unique from someone else. And now I realize it now, you know what I mean? Because some people that I know, you know, some is doing well, you know, some, you know, are on a different, you know, playing field. And I think about the direction life has taken me to this point. And family, I can't do nothing but be humble, family. Like, I'm humble and I'm thankful because I'm knowing things could have been a lot worse. You know, I'm 41 years old right now, and I'm going on 42 in March the 29th in the Lord's will. That's like me going on 70, 72. You know what I mean? Like, from where I was right, like it was just rough, man. Like, we wasn't, you know, me and one of my associates talked the other day from Arkansas City. Shout out to everybody from Arkansas City. Shout out to the River Rats, because I went to elementary school up there. I actually went all the way to the ninth grade, I believe. You know, on and off, like different parts of it. I did elementary, then I left, and I came back and did some. I got kicked out McGee, and I go down there. You know what I mean? But I was always coming back and forth. But I'm a river rat for sure. So shout out to all my river rats from Arkansas City. But it was down there, man, where I learned a lot. Like, I learned, it was a simple town, but I had to make the best of what we had, man. I used to make go karts, the mopeds. I had a moped that didn't even have no brakes on it, family. We had to do the Flintstone. Like, literally, we used to burn our shoes out because that's how we had to stop. We had to stop with our shoes, you know what I mean? But it was fun, though. And we still got the memory. And I was talking to one of my homies from Arkansas City named Roger. he was bringing it up like, man, we had so much fun, bro. Like, even though we didn't have that much, bro, we made the best of it. You know what I mean? And we did what we had to do. You know what I mean? And we always stuck together like family. You know what I mean? So now, being alive and seeing some of my, people, what I mean, getting older, having kids, having grandbabies, man, I'm like, man, we got grandbabies now, you know what I mean? We didn't even think we was gonna make it that long, family, you know what I mean? So, it's just humbling. I think about it now, and all I can do is just, shake my head and be like, man, I made it this far, you know what I mean? The black sheep. And it's all about the drive, family. So if you are the black sheep of your family, it's all right. You know what I mean? Don't let it get you down. But sometimes you can use that disadvantage, so to speak, to make you hustle harder and bring something else out, something else you have value and you can bring to the table. Because sometimes, roses do grow in the middle of a concrete. When cracked situations, something good can come up in a broken situation. So, just keep that perspective. Just wanted to say, man, I hope everybody have a blessed weekend. This morning, last night, we had a mean storm in southeast throughout Arkansas, period. Some ice, some snow, but a lot of snow in the muddy south down here at McGee and Dumans and Lake Village. I think up through this area, man, we pretty much just got a lot of snow. But up there with my dad and them at in Fayetteville area, I think they got a lot of ice up there. So y'all be safe on that road in Arkansas. But like I said, I was just checking in. Something I was thinking about this morning. Thinking about how time flies, how we grow, we learn, and how history, how things can just be done right in front of your eyes, like me looking at a light-skinned version of me, a version of me that I'm hoping and I know that's going to be able to do things that I probably could never do. And I'm at peace with that. It was like, before I let you go, David wanted to do something amazing. God had blessed him in many ways. And he wanted to do something, but at that time of his life, God said, you know what? I'm going to let you store up everything that is needed. You're going to go through everything that is needed. You're going to get all the stuff that's needed. And I'm going to let your son build it. But you're going to get everything prepared for him. He's going to use all the materials, everything you got, he's going to take that, what you did, to another level. And sometimes we have to realize that's just what it is, man. And I'm humble and thankful that I know that's how it's going to play out. So I'm a grind, and I'm okay with being a black sheep. I'm okay with being, being different, so to speak. But I'm knowing being different is also making me drive more, making me push more, you know what I mean? So just wanted to say, if you are the black sheep of the family, it's all right, keep your head up, keep pushing, find your niche, you know what I mean? And just let it be what it is. But I can't say that you don't feel some type of way, you don't get depressed, you don't get down. Don't just let it get to you, you know what I mean? It's always good to remember that proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. I'm going to say that one more time. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. So keep knocking on that door. It's going to open for you. Hold on.